Hey, what's up everyone? This is the Freelancer back again with another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. I am just going to ramble and yap for a minute. So if it sounds like my thoughts are a little bit disorganized or kind of rambly, it's because of that. I'm not going off a script. I'm just talking straight from the hip. So please forgive me if my video sounds a little bit disorganized. But yeah, anyway, so here we go. So yeah, Fatal Fury Season 2 trailer came out recently. And before I get into the trailer myself, I actually want to explain a little bit of who I am and a little bit of my background and why I felt like I need to talk about this in the first place. If you know me or you've been watching this channel, you know I am a lifelong fighting game fan. Capcom games, Namco games, Arc Sys games, SNK games, doesn't matter what it is. I just love fighting games as a whole. But also another thing you should know about me is that my profession is video production. I've been working in video production for almost 10 years, starting back in 2017. I've worked through different workflows, different tools, different industry shifts. So with that said, the focus of this video is AI. And when I talk about AI, I'm not coming at this from a place of hype or even fear. I'm coming at it from experience. So anyway, when Fatal Fury City of the Wolves Season 2 trailer dropped, I watched it wearing two hats. One as a fighting game fan and also as a video production professional. And to give you my honest reaction to it, I thought it was a solid piece of marketing. It was clearly meant to be a cinematic filler trailer spliced in with shots of gameplay, really more to set a tone, but not to be a complete gameplay breakdown. This is just a teaser trailer. Now, there were some things I did like about it, some things I didn't like about it, and there would have been some things I would have done differently. To highlight some of the things I liked about the trailer, I thought some of the characters translated visually well. I thought Geese looked good, I thought Krauser looked good, except for a few shots. Blue Mary was on point. Kim Jae-hoon was probably the most problematic one, but that felt more like a quality control problem than anything else. And if I was to change anything, there would definitely be a lot of shots I would take out. For example, I definitely would have taken out all the close-up shots of AI faces. Just me personally, I think close-ups of AI faces just look really weird. It looks very uncanny. It just doesn't look right to me. I would just do what they've already done throughout the trailer, is that if you must show like a close-up of a person's face, do something to obscure the face, maybe hide it in shadow, similar to what they did with Geese Howard, where his face is subtly shrouded in shadow. I actually love that shot. Same thing with they did with Blue Mary when she first gets introduced. Her face is kind of cut off the screen, but her face is still kind of covered in shadow. And same thing with Krauser when he's playing on the organ. You can definitely tell by the silhouette it's Krauser, but his face is covered in shadow. I absolutely loved it. And even though it's AI, I just thought the visuals were very, very cool. I really did enjoy it. Like the shot where Geese is sitting on top of one of his gravestones, or even with Blue Mary on her bike when she has her helmet on, it really gave that that dark cyberpunk kind of look. And even the shot where Krauser is playing his organ and he's being surrounded by wolves, I thought those were really, really cool shots and really interesting visuals. And that tells me that yes, there are still creative people working on this, because in order to achieve such eye-popping visuals like that and just interesting compositions, you gotta have a creative eye. You gotta have a keen eye for cinematography and just composition. So that's why I just take issue when people say, oh, it's very, no one creative is working this. No, I disagree. You gotta have a creative eye to create such interesting visuals like this. But overall, I thought the teaser did exactly what it was supposed to do. But unfortunately, the conversation didn't stay there. Instead of talking about the potential balance updates and the amazing news that we're getting 6 characters in the next 6 months, so that's a new character a month. Instead of talking about that, the focus shifted away from that and just went straight into outrage over AI. Suddenly the trailer wasn't being discussed on its own merits anymore. It now became the talk of, oh, it's lazy, uncreative, soulless, cutting corners. And watching all this in real time gave me deja vu, because a similar thing happened with a little game called Expedition 33. If you remember, in the later half of 2025, that game was getting massive admiration. People loved the visuals, the ambition, the atmosphere, the music. And then early this year, January, it came out that AI had been used in parts of the production, and like overnight, the narrative completely flipped. The same people praising it were suddenly tearing it apart. It went from masterpiece to slop. And that was the moment I came to a realization. I don't think AI is the problem. I think people are being very unreasonable when they talk about AI and how they react to it. And the irony is, being extremely unreasonable about AI actually does the opposite of what people want. When every conversation turns into AI's bad with no nuance, it just pushes people to look into it themselves. They start educating themselves on how it's actually being used in real production pipelines, and once that happens, the fear will eventually start to fade. And there's also just fatigue. When people hear non-stop doom and gloom takes, they will eventually tune it out. And when that happens, curiosity will take over. Instead of asking, why is this evil? They start asking, how bad is it really? And more often than not, the answer is, it's just another tool. Because in my opinion, that's what AI is in most professional creative environments, a tool. AI can be incredibly useful for speeding up certain parts of production, things that are repetitive, time-consuming, technical. That means more human time and energy can be spent on the parts that actually matter, things like creative decisions, directions, polish, storytelling. This also applies to video game development, film productions, trailers, marketing, everything. And the reason why I feel comfortable talking about this sort of thing is because I personally use AI for my work and for my projects, and it really does help. It's a very, very useful tool. So I'm not talking to you just out of my ass. I'm talking from experience. So when I hear the argument that people should continue doing everything the old way because it feels more ethical, even when there's tools that can make their jobs easier, I'm sorry, I just disagree. Wanting people to struggle unnecessarily to make the process more authentic or more ethical, it seems counterproductive to me. Now, I don't expect people who don't work in a professional creative field to fully understand this. A lot of people just like to jump on bandwagons and repeat what their peers or parrot what their favorite influencer tells them. That's just human nature. And also in combination of they just speaking from a place of ignorance. But for people who are in the creative industries, I do have to say this. Ignoring new tools is a detriment to you. This isn't me sounding like some sort of evil manager or defending corporations. I'm just speaking reality. Imagine working for Marvel when the industry transitioned from ink and paper to digital art. If you refused to learn digital because you felt it wasn't real art or it didn't feel real, you didn't just miss an opportunity to grow your skill set and learn a new skill, potentially lost your job. Or imagine that mindset if you were a doctor, refusing to adopt new medical tools or breakthroughs because they didn't feel ethical to you. People will rightfully call it irresponsible. Creative work isn't life or death, obviously, but the principle is the same. Progress doesn't stop because we're uncomfortable. And historically, this kind of resistance happens every single time something new shows up. Let me give an example. People resisted automobiles because horses were considered superior. Painters resisted photography because it wasn't real art. And yet here we are. Cars become normal. Photography became its own respected art form. And guess what? Painting didn't disappear. Horses didn't disappear. The old methods stuck around, still valued, and they're still appreciated. And that's what makes what's happening with Fatal Fury especially frustrating. Because instead of being excited for an update to a game that, according to rumors, didn't sell too well, this should be a happy moment. The conversation has now been hijacked by outrage over AI using a trailer. Not in the game itself, not the gameplay, not the final assets, just marketing material. And that's wild to me because the community has always said the issue is AI replacing actual in-game content. That didn't happen here. So now AI can't even be used in promotional material. And I also take issue with calling this trailer lazy or uncreative, also completely ignores reality. There are still real video editors and real production professionals behind it. We don't know SNK's budget. We don't know their timelines. We don't know their internal discussions. So we shouldn't act as though we know. And also, before the game came out, if I remember correctly, everyone seemed to be kind of weirded out by how SNK is spending so much money on these massive campaigns. If you remember, they were making these big budget commercials, having influencer collaborations with people like KSI and iShowSpeed, or buying WWE ad placements. And you know what? SNK probably looked at that as well and decided, hey, us spending all this money on these commercials and stuff, we probably didn't hit the return of investment that we wanted, so let's try something smaller scale this time. Maybe having short animated teasers along with some generated AI teasers as well too. And for all we know, they could have used their own art assets to generate those visuals. And the reason why I say this is because some of the character models look way too on point just to be random props. Again, we don't know the creative process, and that's exactly why we shouldn't be so quick to grab pitchforks. But the one thing that really frustrates me is that whenever a controversy pops up, people come out of the woodwork to bash the game. People who are never around when SNK does something good, you always see the same comments. I was going to buy the game, but now I'm not. I'm dropping this game. Or I was going to buy it on a discount. Stop. You were never going to buy the game. The game went on sale for 67% off last December. If you were going to get it, that would have been the perfect time to get it. These comments just feel performative to me. It's virtual signaling. You had no intention of supporting this game. Cut the crap. And I hate speaking like this because it will sound like I'm a corporate shill, because I'm not. I'm just calling it for what it is. It just all sounds like hysteria to me. I've also seen people express frustrations that SNK didn't hire artists or cosplayers instead. And sure, collaborations would be cool. I would love to see that personally. But I'm being very respectful when I say this. But creating fan art or cosplaying SNK characters does not entitle anyone to a job. Even the same rule applies to me. I make SNK videos. I would love to work with SNK, but that doesn't mean that SNK is obligated to hire me. Passion doesn't equal obligation. Whether people like it or not, the AI Pandora's box is already open. There's no going back. Complaining endlessly isn't going to undo it. You either adapt, learn how to coexist with these tools, or you get left behind. And again, let's keep perspective. At the end of the day, this was just cinematic filler for a trailer. That's it. Now, I'm not pretending AI has no downsides. There are real concerns. Malicious use, misinformation, stuff like the recent Grok controversy on Twitter. AI absolutely needs regulation, and laws need to evolve alongside it. There are also hardware concerns. GPUs and RAM prices are rising, but we've seen this before. The same thing happened during the crypto mining boom in 2020. Prices spiked, then eventually stabilized. I expect something similar to happen here over time. And what really gets me though is just the hypocrisy. People who say they hate AI would happily share AI generated memes or SpongeBob AI song covers without thinking twice. People who claim they worried about AI harming the environment will ignore things actively damaging it right now. Unnecessary plane travel, vehicles spewing black smoke, but suddenly AI is where to draw the line. But anyway, to wrap this up, this is not going to be a pro AI channel. This is not what this is about. I just want to just talk about the situation, explain my perspective, and just let my thoughts be known. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to support SNK. I've been supporting SNK when they decided to come back into the console marketing game. I supported them through KOF 14, SNK Heroines, 15, Samurai Showdown. So I'm going to continue supporting them with Fatal Fury because I want SNK to do well. I want them to thrive. I want them to go back to how they were back in the 90s. But yeah, with that being said, after this, I'm going right back to making fighting game videos. I just wanted to get this off my chest. But please let me know what your thoughts are. Do you feel the same way as me, where you just really just don't care about it? You just see it as just regular marketing material, or do you feel differently? But I'm interested to hear what you have to say. So please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.